Hi everyone, hope you're okay. I just thought I'd do a little video on some seeds. It gets to the time of year and you're thinking, what do I do, what don't I do, what have I put in, is it too early, is it too cold, what have we got over from last year? So I was just having a nosy through, reading my box. I have planted some Sweet Pea Mammoth mix and they're from Premier Seeds. I find that they grow really well. I get a great germination and you know, good growth from them. I've got some night scented stock. I haven't started that off yet. And I've also got some lupins. This is as far as I've got with the flowers this year. I have put in some sweet peppers and they're in a propagator in the conservatory. So not had the germination on them yet, but eagerly waiting. I was just checking through what we've got and what we've not got. So I'm okay for tomatoes. I'm going to hold off on those then. I've never grown tomatoes from seed, so this will be an interesting year for that. I am going to do both because I like to clarify the difference and see what's what. And we've got lots of carrot seeds, which the children love to do. But I think this year we're going to make more of a sandy soil, trying to get a better growth from them. They were a bit stumpy, so I think we need to mix a bit of soil through. We do have some raised beds, but we are clay-based soil at the allotment, so we do have to add a lot of nutrients and things like that. I'm going to do lettuce at home this year purely because I just find it's easier to keep on top of. If you can't get to the allotment, it's just like a cut and come again, and that's what, because we use it on a daily basis, so I think I'm going to do that at home. I've got enough sweet corn seeds. I had a really good crop from these last year, which are the Swift F1 variety. They were really tasty, really sweet, really succulent, so I'm just going to go with those because we had a really good time with them last year. I have never grown, I've never grown courgettes before. The Kitchen Garden magazine was great last month. You got like 10 packs of seeds, which, you know, is pretty awesome, for $4.99. So why not? Any advice on courgettes? Pop them in the comments below. I've never started them off. We do have a greenhouse at the allotment, so do I keep them in there? Do I start them off in there? Transplant them outside? Really don't know. Not read up too much about courgettes. The other thing we wanted to do this year is a little bit of a herb garden. I know that people who like mint tend to control it in a bucket or a big pot because it does take over and it does grow quite rapidly, and then you know that's not what you want because it's too hard to get rid of. And we've got some rocket and coriander. I am going to do a little bit of mint because I do like mint in your summer drinks. Start watching your garden grow. I didn't know I had so many. I do also. This is a lettuce I grew last year, the salad bowl, red and green, and it was a really good cut and come again, so I'm going to stick with that one. I do have a couple of different varieties, and I do also want to grow some charred bright lights. I started them off in the greenhouse, but then unfortunately couldn't get back. It got a little bit burnt to crisp, and what I'd like to obviously share with you is things going wrong, things looking a mess. You see a lot of things online about these great big allotments and they look perfect and there are no weeds and everything they sow, they harvest, and sometimes that isn't always the case. Life gets in the way, sometimes you can't always be there as much as you want to, which I found happened with my charred bright lights. Got to the greenhouse and they just completely burnt to a crisp and it was just too hot. They had no water, so it was just had to go in the compost bin. It was too late in the season to set another one off and you wouldn't be able to get back. Our allotment is quite messy at the moment. We've done a lot of groundwork, we're building paths and fences, we've got a lot of pallet collars, yeah, with the metal at the sides, which are really great because there's no screwing, no nailing, no hammering, anything like that. So we find them work really well for us. We got rid of one of the ponds last year because we just found that 2 was just taking up too much space. Our allotment was split into 2 and we're just finding out in the next few weeks if we can take up the top end, which we really want to. It should have never really been split. We kind of had to walk through theirs to get to ours.